Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be as bad, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. You don't talk about y'all. It's me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Tuesday. I am exhausted. I am so tired. I'm packing up. For those y'all know, it's the last week of school. I'm packing up my classroom, and it's a lot of moving around and a lot of up and down and in and out and all of that. And then I went to the gym, child. Then I went to the gym. So I'm tired. Like when I say I'm tired, like I'm physically like, I've been doing a lot of moving around today, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining, but baby, I am tired. But it's all good. We're gonna get into this now. At first, I was only going to just talk about Shamea's interview with Carlos, but then there's been a few other things that have gone on today that I kind of want to put my 2 cents in on. So we're doing a doubleheader. We are on both channels so that I can just hit 2 birds with 1 stone, if I'm being honest. So for those of you that are on the review channel, you are going to get like a full-fledged tribe meeting. So my apologies that the Shamea part of this will probably be later. That's why I changed the title. So you will know it's here, but we're going to talk about a few other things too. I also put a goal up there. Now I'm going to start putting a goal on every live, just 1 goal, maybe 2 goals on every live, just to get a little, just a little something. But today, the goal is if I get 10 super chats while we are live, when I get to the end of my commentary, if we've met the goal, I will drop the link, because I do think we're going to be talking about a few things today that y'all might have an opinion on, and maybe y'all want to share it. So you can only do the goals on the main channel though, because I didn't set the goals up on the review channel. It's a lot. I think I explained that to y'all before. In order for me to set the goals up on the review channel, I have to actually log all the way out of my Google account, like all the way out of Google, and log in under the review. It's a whole situation. So I have to like log everything out and then log in, and it's a lot. So I didn't. So just come on over to the main channel if you want to contribute to the goal so that we could drop this link. Okay. Those are my disclaimers for today. We know all of the things. Tracy, Nay, whoever my mods are. If you guys feel like it, you guys can drop all the stuff as I'm talking. I'll put it up on the screen. But we have some things to get into, so we're not going to really get into all of the things we have going on. We got the July event, Books and Bourbon, Ebby's birthday, the cruise in February, the cruise in August. If you are interested about any of those things, reach out to me on Instagram or reach out to me or email me and put it in the subject line. Okay. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, oh shoot. Dang it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, boo. I'm sorry I didn't speak to everybody, but we already have 130 people in here. So let me just say hi to everybody. Charge it to my head and not my heart. We already getting a late start, so I just want to get to the stuff. But y'all know I normally go and do a roll call. So hey, everybody, shouts out to you, shouts out to you, shouts out to you. Let me scroll up a little bit and just make sure there's nothing that I need to address before we get started. I think everybody just kind of giving their hellos and salutations. Oh, the informed said he wondered what Candy thought. I had some thoughts. Everybody, hey ladies. That was a good interview with that too. They really did. I feel like they really did. So JD Vance was on The View today. I thought it was a pretty good interview. I watched it online. I thought it was a pretty good interview from the point of view of, I'm pretty sure it wasn't their idea to have him. I'm pretty sure they had to have him on the show. And I think that they did a good job of holding his feet to the fire. Now, did we expect a straightforward response from him about anything? No. So there's that. The minute he said they're not erasing Black history, what are you going to say? But the best part about that interview that I absolutely positively love is how Whoopi very nicely reminded him that he's married to a woman of color. I loved how she slid that in there. Like, sir, your children. Okay. Thank you, Nate, for the first super chat. Happy summer break. Benji said, when are you coming to visit him? Oh, I gotta see my Benji boo. I gotta come and see my Benji with his spoiled self, child. Did y'all see? I should have put it in the group chat. Nate posted a picture of Benji poking his head through his doggy door. Benji loves his little doggy door, honey. Okay. So let's get into it. Mystical, y'all know the former, well, I mean, I guess he's still a rapper, but the former No Limit rapper, Mystical, was sentenced to 20 years in prison. He was convicted of sexual assault. This was, I think, his second conviction. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison, and I believe that that's where he should be. Listen, and I'm going to talk about this when we get to the Jay-Z conversation in a few minutes. Here's the thing. We can hold people accountable and still like them. I like Mystical. I've loved Mystical as a rapper. But you know what? I no longer can rock with Mystical. You know why? Because he has now been convicted twice of sexual assault. So that's no longer somebody that I want to be like, yo, I love his music. Oh, I'm a fan. I'm no longer a fan. You know why I'm no longer a fan? Because you were convicted twice, not once, but twice. You went to jail, you got out, you were convicted of doing it again. As a Black woman, I'm sorry, I can't rock with that. And I'm not going to get into the woods of, well, what if he didn't do it? He's convicted. And I know that everybody that's convicted ain't guilty, but in this case, I'm going to say he's convicted twice. The first time it was a whole videotape of him doing it, so he kind of couldn't say a whole lot the first time. But we're going to get back to it in a minute. The other thing I want to clear up too is sometimes he was okay, so here's the thing. He was out of jail, but I believe he was still on like parole or on whatever, not parole. What is it when you parole is parole. I think what happened was when he got arrested for the second assault, they violated him. They revoked his parole or something like that, and he had to serve out the rest of it. I wasn't following the case, you guys, so I don't remember. But what I do think happened was when he got arrested, they revoked his parole, and so he had to finish serving out his original probation. Thank you, not probation. Thank you, Inform. So he had to finish serving that out, and in the interim, he was found guilty of the second charge, and they just added 20 years. I believe is what happened. But if I'm wrong, but now he's blaming the substances and then made the Lady Cash app you, but even if the charges are false, it's hard to believe you. Right. So there's that. What was I getting ready to say? I know, Tracy, and I appreciate you for dropping them all, honey. You getting them in, honey. You getting them in, and I appreciate them. I was see this brain fog. I'm gonna have to just start finishing my thoughts. Oh, I know what it was now. Sometimes, and let me say this too, I'm in a little bit of a mood today. So maybe that's where I should have started. I'm in a little bit of a mood today. And when I say that, I mean my energy when it comes to people being messy is just low. It's like right here. Thank you, the informed. My eye keeps watering. Thank you, boo. Thank you. I appreciate you. My energy level when it comes to, I think sometimes, and when I say y'all, I really don't mean y'all. I really mean the people that do this. I really think that sometimes y'all are so dead set on misunderstanding us. And when I say us, I'm speaking for like YouTubers, content creators, bloggers, whatever. I think sometimes people, y'all are so dead set on just being honorary or just obstinate or just whatever the situation is. I did a something I said. I did commentary yesterday on the Armand Wiggins piece, and I did rush off because I had to get to the Whether You Like It or Not panel. So maybe I did not fully flesh out my thoughts as it relates to Armand Wiggins. Let me be very clear. Armand Wiggins is a very talented man. Full stop. Period. And the reason why Armand Wiggins keeps getting in the rooms that he's in and getting the opportunities that he gets is because he is a very talented man. What I was saying yesterday is he fumbles the bag when he gets in those rooms. That's what I said. And I'm not going to change my opinion on that. And I think some of and I think he gets in his own way because and he's not this generation of young people, because I mean, he's 38 years old, so he's not that young. But I also feel like, and I'm not saying that as an old dig, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying I'm not talking about 20-year-olds. I'm not talking about, this generation. I'm just talking about, it's a certain mindset where I feel like people feel like I'm going to be selling out and I'm not going to bow down to the man and I'm not going to this, and that. And all I was saying yesterday is sometimes there is a certain level of compromise that you have to make when you're not in a power position. Now, at the end of the day, the power position for Armand and people like Armand who work for themselves, the power position is you can leave that money on the floor and you can choose to walk out the door and make a different decision. And that's valid. That's very valid. But what I also is going to say is the flip side. Thank you, Ravine. Thank you, boo. Let's hit our goal. Yes. But the flip side of that is the what's the word I'm looking for? The trade-off on that is you may not get those opportunities. You may fumble those opportunities. That's what I was saying yesterday. Now, if y'all heard something different, I don't know. The one person, and y'all know I don't even really rock with Funky Neva like that most of the time. Y'all know a lot of times he just pisses me off if I'm being fair. But the one thing I will say about Funky Neva is Funky Neva does move on his own pace. But one thing he has been very honest about is that he has fucked up opportunities. He's been very honest about not taking advantage of opportunities that were there for him and taking advantage of being in the spaces that he was in. Now, I think he's in a different space in his life now. I think he's very comfortable doing his YouTube channel, he said that on a bad month, he makes $30,000 a month. He said on a good month, he makes $50,000 a month. I mean, again, I think he's very comfortable with that, which most of us would be, and that affords him the freedom to make other decisions and do other things. But he will be the first person to admit, listen, I fumbled some bags. Thank you, boo. Thank you, CC, towards the goal. Thank you, my love. Right? So I just, and again, all of this is going to lead to where we get to the Jay-Z conversation. We have to really start to be better critical thinkers and listen to understand and stop listening to respond. And I feel like sometimes people listen to respond. They just want people to be wrong. And a lot of times y'all, and again, if it don't apply, let it fly. But a lot of times y'all want to just tell us we're wrong so bad that you don't listen to what we're saying. You're not listening to understand. You're only listening to respond. Like, it is what it is. I don't. Me and T, I'm gonna use T as an example. Me and T, me and her got into a really good debate Saturday night when we were watching the basketball game in Discord about Michael Jordan. The one thing I never said was that Michael Jordan wasn't talented. The one thing I never said was that Michael Jordan wasn't probably at that point one of the best, like the greatest player in the history of the NBA when he was in his prime. And you'll never hear me say that. But that doesn't mean I have to be a fan. I can acknowledge you for your works, for your accomplishments, for what the things that you have done. That does not mean I have to be a fan. Thank you, Kenneth Boo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, lovely Nola. Hold on, let me make sure that's the right person, lovely Nola. Hold on, make sure it's lovely Nola. Hold on, make sure it's lovely Nola. Y'all make sure it's the right one. Child, don't say nothing to you about me not being able to scroll up. Don't you say a word. Don't you say nothing. T didn't threaten. Okay, I think it was lovely Nola. I can't scroll up. Tracy said, listen, I have to tell. Thank you so much, Auntie Eva. Thank you, boo. Tracy said, listen, I have to tell my son that all the time. I need you to listen to understand so we can have a good conversation. Right. You know, so at the end of the day, Armand Wiggins is absolutely a talented person because that's what gets him in these rooms. That's why he gets on the TGIF. That's why Cardi did fuck with him. That's why Jason Lee was fucking with. Like, that is what gets you in the room. But you are I think Abby said it yesterday, a self-saboteur. What's up, Miss French Kiss? Hey, boo. You know, like, and that's in my opinion. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on because I really want to get to Shamea and the Shamea Jay-Z conversation. This whole thing about Nene shading Drew, the guy that they were trying to set Drew up with the guy that, hold on, I see your question. Give me a second, Miss Pretty Amazing. Give me a second. Because I gotta stay focused because the brain fog is bad right now. And if I forget to address it, just drop it in again. Drew, the guy that they were trying to set Drew up with on Sunday night's episode, her hairdresser's friend or whatever, and he came to the skating event. It was clear that Drew was not trying to fool with that man. Like, it was very clear that Drew did not return the attraction. She said she ain't even had time to date. And she said all the things that people say when they're trying to be polite, when they really not trying to hurt somebody's feelings. They're really trying to be polite and say, I'm just not interested. Thank you, Happen. Thank you, boo. So Nene drops on her Instagram. Let me go on and tell y'all what Nene said, child. Nene says, if you wanted my leftovers, you should have asked for them plated. It didn't even taste good. The thirst is real. Now, if you guys remember, there was a guy a few years ago that posted pictures of him and Nene in bed. I think he was a friend of her son's or something like that. It was a real messy thing. He clearly was the one that dropped the pictures. He clearly wanted people to know that him and Nene had a couple of, rolls in the hay kind of thing. And from my understanding, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, we talked about it, but Nene didn't even address it then. So Drew's hairdresser responded to Nene and said, I introduced them and Drew wasn't even interested at first. You can tell from the look on her face. Nobody wants your leftovers. Nobody even knew that y'all were a thing. Hashtag the past. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to agree with the hairdresser, the stylist on this one. I'm going to have to agree with the stylist on this one. Like, Nene, girl, thank you, Miss Pretty Amazing. Nobody was right. I did peep the at first, though, Lyric. Hey, boo. Hey, Lyric. I did peep the at first, though. I did peep that. So maybe Drew was interested later. But at the end of the day, who cares? Nene, nobody was even thinking about you and that man. We didn't even know it was a thing. Like, when that man dropped them receipts, you ignored him. You paid him dust. You didn't even address it. So why are you addressing it now? Why is it a thing now? You know, Nene, listen. Where the talk show, Nene? Have him on your talk show. You ain't done a episode of your talk show in 2 years. Anyway, Nene playing smart though. How is that playing this smart? I think that makes her look desperate and thirsty. Cause why? I mean, you think that's a storyline to get her on the show? I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna get. I mean, if Bravo's gonna bring her back, Bravo's gonna bring her back. I don't think that is gonna get them to bring her back. I don't. Excuse me. I don't think that's going to get Nene. Listen, here's what I'm going to say about this. Nene doesn't have to do those kinds of things to get back in the mix. If Nene, if Bravo was serious about bringing Nene back on the show in any sort of a capacity, Nene is Nene fucking Leakes. Nene fucking Leakes. She doesn't need to pick at Drew about a man that ain't nobody even thinking about. I could see if it was Black. At least with Black, we know there's a storyline there with Black. You know, at least, I mean, I could see if she used to date Black and she was dropping receipts. Don't nobody care about this man. Thank you, Miss Bay Thing. Anyway, the comment that the person made, it wasn't any one particular comment, y'all. Miss Pretty Amazing asked me what did somebody say about the Armand Wiggins thing. It wasn't any one particular comment. It was just people making comments like as if I was attacking Armand Wiggins. And then one person was like, Armand Wiggins is talented, period. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, girl, I never said he wasn't. I never said Armand Wiggins wasn't talented. Tracy said the bar is open. We have blueberry margarita. Hold on. Look like she's still celebrating over here. A blueberry margarita with a blueberry lemon salt, fig, and brown sugar old fashioned, and a blackberry Tom Collins. And for the non-drinker, she's got a passion fruit Mai Tai mocktail. Let me try that old fashioned. You know, that's what I want. And you notice she's using some of the finishing sugars and salts from our shit we didn't ask for from yesterday. Mind you, the people hated that man before he got denied by Kai. It's so strange how the line moves. So, baby, Lyric, baby, that's what the people do. That's what the people do, honey. All right, let's get into this Floyd Mayweather situation, and then we're gonna talk about Shamea, and then we're gonna talk about Jay-Z. And how close are we to the goal? We got to be almost close to the goal. I don't know why my right eye keeps watering. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Excuse me. What's up, Kareem? Hey, boo. Keeping me company on my evening walk. Yes. Well, thank you, boo. We'll be seeing each other soon, hanging out. Are your sinuses getting you this a lot? It might be, J Love. It might be because it's definitely the sinuses. Okay, we need 3 more to it. Okay, we're gonna get that. It probably is my sinuses because now the roof of my mouth is itching. It probably is the damn pollen, child. And I need, damn it, I keep forgetting to change my filter. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to snort in the microphone. I'm sorry. So Floyd Mayweather has been charged in Las Vegas with 2 felonies connected to an alleged $200,000 bad check that was used to buy a luxury watch. Prosecutors say that Mayweather wrote the check in December of 2024 in a Las Vegas resale shop called Gold and Beyond, but the account allegedly did not have enough funds. The charges reportedly are theft and passing a check without sufficient funds with intent to defraud. He reportedly did not appear personally at the first court appearance, but his attorney appeared for him. His next hearing is scheduled for September of 2024. This is an accusation, not a conviction. So legally he has not been found guilty. He's been charged. First of all, thank you. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen. Oh, this stupid thing. Damn it. El Teddy, don't worry about it, babe. I told El Teddy to take his time, and then he was like, I was taking my time, and I see you already live. Baby, don't worry about it. Thank you, Kitty Doc. Thank you, boo. And thank you. Hold on. Thank you, Nitwit. Let's have some tribe talk. Yes, honey. We're gonna drop the link. It looked like we're gonna be dropping the link. First of all, who the fuck who is still taking checks these days? Like, I know you can still write a check. I know checks are still, legal currency. But for that amount of money, who's still taking a check for $200,000? Like, they don't make you do money transfer. Like, I've never had that much money to spend, so I don't know how it works. When you just got $200,000, I don't know what it's like to walk into a store and buy something that costs $200,000. So I don't know how these things work, but I have to think that in today's day and age, and the things that we can do to pay for things, I have to think that I would have to think that people not just writing $200,000 checks. Welcome from El Teddy's. I told him to take his time, y'all. Y'all good. I told him to take his time, honey. I work in retail. I guarantee you, in senior discount days, someone is showing up with a check. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I know people still have checks. I know people still write checks, but I'm just thinking, like, and I guess because he's Floyd Mayweather and people assume he has the money, which we've been talking about this for the last couple of months about Floyd Mayweather and his money situation. His money looking real funny to me. And first of all, the fact that you're in a resale shop, and the second of all, the fact that you're buying a watch at a resale shop, which again ain't nothing wrong with, because Vegas actually has some of the best pawn shops because it is a gambling city. And people be pawning stuff all the time so they can get back and gamble. It's not a good thing. But that was one thing I learned riding up to Atlantic City. They said, baby, Atlantic City back in the day when they had all the casinos and stuff in Atlantic City, which they still have casinos there, but when it was like, big Atlantic City, they said those were some of the best pawn shops. And I remember the first time I went to Vegas, we went to a pawn shop in Vegas because they were like, you can find some good stuff at the pawn shops in Vegas. So it's nothing wrong with going to a reseller. I'm sure there are people in Vegas that resell stuff all the time. However, Floyd Mayweather was not that person. And the fact that you were in a resale shop buying a $200,000 watch, and when they tried to run that check, the money wasn't there. Now, let me say this. Last I checked, hold on, y'all. Okay. Last I checked, when you write a check, the checking system now is directly connected to the bank. Like, that's why so many people stop writing checks, because it's connected to the bank. Like, once upon a time, when you wrote a check, you knew you had a couple of days. Like, if you wrote a check on a Monday, you knew you probably had till Wednesday, maybe Thursday, depending on what time you wrote the check, before it really hit your bank. Now it's almost instant. So you went in on a Wednesday to write a check. To write a check for $200,000. You had to know it was gonna hit your account like the next day. Then again, it's Floyd Mayweather. He might not know. Right. It takes it's almost automatic. That's why so many people stop writing checks, because you might as well just use your debit card. Because it's boom. At the very least, your bank puts a hold on that money. The money might still physically, you might be able to see it, but the bank puts a hold on that, like they do with a debit card. So I don't even know how he was able to walk out the store with a $200,000 check that ain't no good. Clearly, it's just off the strength of this is Floyd Mayweather, and they've probably done a lot of business with him in the past. They've Chad, I might have to take me a Claritin. You know what? I was cleaning my room today. I might have got a lot of dust and stuff. I don't know, but that would have been earlier today though. Did we meet the goal yet, y'all? I don't know. Did we hit the goal yet? Let me know. Excuse me, y'all. Jeez. Thank you. All right. So, Floyd, you need to clear this up. I'm sure them people just want their money. I'm sure these people just want their money. And I'm pretty sure that before they called the police, they tried to talk to you. They tried to work this out privately. Because again, I feel like the only reason why they even took that check from you like that is because you probably have done a lot of business with them. And they probably didn't even want it to go to this point. Man, just get them people their money. I mean, once the DA charges, they may or may not drop the charges, but get them people their money, or give them the watch back. And at this point, they probably don't want the watch back, because again, it's just like with anything else. Even though that was a previously owned, even though that place sells previously owned items, it's just like anything else. Once it leaves the shop, it depreciates in value. So even if it was a resale watch, it was clearly worth $200,000 when you bought it, when you purchased it. So every day that you have it, it's dropping in value, because now it went from having maybe one pre-owner to two, or maybe two to three. It continues to de-escalate or decline. That's the word I'm looking for, not de-escalate, decline. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me blow. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna be honest. The only places that, I haven't written a check in years, but I do still do electronic checks, because you're right. Some places do charge for you to use a debit card, right? Some people do. So I'll do, like, if I call, I'll do an electronic check, but I have not physically written a check in so long. Floyd is probably living off of selling his assets. Well, then why is he buying a $200,000 watch? Like, you need to get your spending habits under control. Because Floyd probably makes decent money to live a decent lifestyle. Floyd don't make the kind of money to live the lifestyle he was living. He probably makes decent money to live a decent lifestyle. You still write checks for some things? Yeah. Cheryl said I do electronic checks for some of my bills and my mortgage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've done electronic checks, but to just physically write a check. But again, it's nothing wrong with it. It's still an accepted form of payment. Like, ain't nothing wrong with writing a check. It's just that they make it so much easier to do, pay your debit card and all that stuff. But it ain't nothing wrong with writing a check. Now, there's something wrong with writing a $200,000 check that's going to bounce. Now, that's a problem. Right, CC. And I'm sure he makes enough money to live. He could probably live in a really nice house and shop when he want to shop and travel like he. But the excessiveness, which we've talked about, his excessive lifestyle. LaDonna said, "I wouldn't even know how to write a check with that many numbers." Okay. Lord, it's hard to maintain 3 girlfriends, 6 kids, and a couple of grandkids on his income. Child. So that's what's going on with Floyd, child. That's what's going on with Floyd. Now let's get into this. Let's get into this Shamea interview. Hold on, y'all. Let me blow my nose one more time. My gosh. I don't know. It must be something in this house. I got to change my thing. Hold on. All right. Tracy said we met our goal. So I will be dropping the link. Give me, let me get through these next 2 things and then we'll drop the link. It's 323 y'all in the chat. Please do me a favor. If you have not done so already, hit that like button. Hit the like button. All right. Now I left my notes at work. I apologize, but I think I know what I want to talk about. But if you watched the interview with Shamea and Carlos King, feel free to put things in the chat and it might spark my my memory. But I know there were some certain things I wanted to talk about. First of all, I wanted to speak on we, and when I say we, I'm talking about me and the people who agree with me. Oh, Kitty Doc says Shamea just irritates me. I could not watch it. Now that's how I felt about Carlos. Y'all know Carlos has gotten better with his interviews, but Carlos interviews, I just don't like his interview style. I just don't like his interview style. He's gotten better, but towards the end of this interview, he was just being so unnecessarily annoying and messy. And it was just unbecoming. Like if you really, because he kept saying, I'm a journalist, I'm a journalist, I'm a journalist. But by the end of that interview, oh, I wasn't reading the chat, Toby. The chat was I'm gonna be honest and say this. So this is what I'm gonna say. Kim, I'm gonna get there, Kim. I'm gonna get there. Let me start with I was right. A lot of what my opinion about stuff as it relates to Shamea and certain things, baby, I was right. I was right. Shamea and Portia. Let me rewind. Shamea said that her and Portia have known each other since middle school, but they were not best friends. So that myth that they have been best friends since middle school is not true. They've known each other since middle school. Shamea said, I had my group of friends. Portia had her group of friends. We knew each other and our mothers were friends, which is how we were introduced to each other. So first of all, let's step away from the myth that Portia and Shamea have been friends since middle school. That is not facts. They've known each other. They've been around each other via their mothers being friends, but they were not best friends in high school, middle school, college years. Shamea said that her and Portia did not start getting close until Portia was going through her divorce with Cordell, which means that they were both grown. She said she was at Portia's bridal shower for Cordell, and she was around, but they were not best friends. So that's the first myth. We can sweep that under the rug. I mean, sweep that away. Now, let me put a disclaimer before I keep going. The disclaimer is everything I'm saying is from the perspective of Shamea. I'm not saying that these are facts. I'm saying this is Shamea's 2 cents. I'm not saying that these are facts. I'm saying this is what Shamea said in her interview. Okay. She said that after the divorce, that's when her and Portia started getting close. She said that she was actually offered a peach after season 9. So season 10, Shamea was offered a peach. She said that she did an audition. It was her and it was another woman who's married to an Atlanta Falcons player. They did a couple of tests. You know how they test the girls. And Carlos asked her, well, what did Portia know? She said yes. She said Portia was even there that night when we did the filming. She said at that time her and Gerald were engaged, but they were not married yet. They were engaged and that he was cool with it, but he told her he wasn't really comfortable with being on camera, but if that's was something she wanted to do, he would support her or whatever. Now, according to Shamea, Portia said to her then, why would you want to do this? I mean, you've got your stuff with the Falcons. Oh, remind me to go back to that, y'all. Don't let me forget about her working for the Hawks and stuff. You got your own thing. Why, this is sort of my thing. Why do you want to do this? That's what Shamea said. And then Portia also said to Shamea, I wouldn't want you to do the show because I don't want that to mess up our friendship. It can get really messy. Things get really messy on this show, and I don't really want it to affect our friendship. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know if I necessarily believe that those were the words that were used. That's my opinion. I don't know if Portia used those words specifically. I'm wondering if Shamea took that because that's what the fans have said. I don't know if Portia said that. That might be the season that she was offered a peach, Xavier, and she chose not to, and chose just to be a friend of. That might be because she said it was season 10. So maybe that's why she said, and I think the point she was trying to make was I was offered a peach before and I declined it. This isn't the first time they offered me a peach. But yeah, Shamea was a friend of before. Yes. Now, that same season, she said me and Portia, they filmed my bridal shower when she was getting married to Gerald. And she said, I wonder if it's something I ate, because golly, hold on, y'all. Let me blow my nose again. Hold on. I do believe Portia said something along the lines of, well, why do you want to do it or something like that? But that, I don't want it to mess up our friendship, just seems so spot on. And maybe it just is spot on. I don't know. That she said that they filmed her bridal shower. She said you can go back and see, like you can see on camera, me and Portia had a fight. She said we had a nasty fight at my bridal shower because that was when I found out she wasn't coming to the wedding, and we had that whole conversation. And she said we ended up having an argument at the bridal shower. She was like, it was filmed. And she said that was when things went to hell. And Carlos was like, well, did y'all make up? Did y'all ever work through it? She said, I thought we had. So let me say this. In my opinion, and I'm on the outside looking in. I'm way on the outside of this looking in. But in my opinion, I honestly feel like that's when Shamea and Portia's relationship pretty much ended. I think a lot of times we have arguments with friends and we apologize and we work through things, but the relationship is never the same. Cahoots. They were best friends by the time Shamea was getting married. What I was saying was they weren't best friends going back to middle school. She said that when Portia and Cordell were going through their divorce, that is when her and Portia became good friends. I just said that. Portia didn't attend the wedding in Kenya. Portia did not attend the wedding in Kenya. Portia attended the wedding here in Atlanta. I personally feel like their friendship never fully recovered from that experience, because from there, that is why when Phaedra and them were making the comments about Shamea at that table, remember that part where they were talking about Shamea being basically calling her a hoe, and Portia didn't defend her? Shamea said that she found out about that when the show came out. She didn't know anything about that conversation. She found out about that when the show came out, but she said that was after they had the argument at the bridal shower. And she said, I thought we were good. I thought we had talked things out. We had talked things through, but we're back, but at that point we were kind of back there. And that's where, that's when she realized. Now, Carlos brought up a good point, and in my opinion, Shamea never answered this question. Carlos said, did Kandi tell you about that conversation, or did you get blindsided by it? And she said, no, Kandi didn't tell me. And Carlos was like, because the girls they see the episodes a few days before the episode airs. So basically, your girlfriend Kandi didn't let you know what was said about you. And she said no. But then there was a conversation later on in the season where Kandi made some comments about Portia, and Shamea was there, and Shamea didn't defend Portia. No, really, B. At the 39 mark, Shamea was caught. It's okay. I'm trying to get through what I remember, y'all. I think you're saying what I'm getting ready to say. So hold on. I said what I said. Hold on, because I think you getting ready to say what I'm getting ready to say. But then she said that later on that season, the conversation where Kandi said something about Portia and Shamea didn't defend it. So Carlos said, but wait a minute. That was all in the same season. So if you didn't know about the first conversation, why didn't you defend Portia when Kandi made them comments about Portia at the second conversation? And Shamea said, well, because it was sort of like my get back. You didn't defend me. I'm not defending you. And Carlos was like, no, what I'm saying is they filmed this. This was while they were filming. So if Kandi didn't tell you about the first conversation, how did you know not to defend Portia when they were talking shit about Portia at the second conversation? And then she said, well, Kandi told me, Kandi told me, but you just said Kandi didn't tell you. Then she said, well, Kandi was like, don't worry about it. I got it. Don't say nothing. I got it. So you chose not to say anything because Kandi said, I'm going to help you get that get back. But the thing is this, I don't even care about the tit for tat part, but you lied. Because there's no way that you were playing tit for tat if you didn't know about tit. How you tatting? You know what I'm saying? How are you getting Portia back if you never knew about the first conversation? You said you found out about the conversation when the show aired. And the point that I think Carlos was trying to make was y'all were filming. So how would you, if you didn't know about the conversation, how did you know if y'all were still filming? Well, your Candy had to tell her. Because how would you know? Hold on. Candy wasn't trying to throw Shamea wasn't trying to throw Candy under the bus, but she did. She should have just said, well, yeah, Candy told me what they said. She should have just said, yeah, Candy told me. But in my opinion, y'all never recovered from that. Because you were mad that Portia didn't come to your wedding, and you really felt like Portia lied about the reason she get blood clots and she can't travel, whatever, girl. Portia didn't come to your wedding for whatever reason. Portia didn't come to your wedding. And then it was the comments that Portia basically let Phaedra tell the story about Shamea having a threesome with Todd and Candy. That's what it was. It was a threesome with Todd and Candy. And Portia's response was, well, they are close. Instead of saying, no, that didn't happen. Now, Shamea also said that Portia lied at the reunion last year when Portia said that she kissed Candy. That both of them had kissed Candy. She said that was a lie. She said that didn't happen. I didn't kiss Candy. Now, what I found to be interesting was Shamea said that was part of the text exchange between her and Portia, is that she was like, Portia, like, why would you say that? You know I never kissed Candy. And Portia, she said Portia wouldn't come up off the lie. Now, clearly it sounds like Portia believes that it happened. Hold on, y'all. Let me blow my nose again. I'm about to go take me a Zyrtec. All right, sorry. I might have to get up. I have to go. I think my Zyrtec is in my work bag. Now, she said, she told Carlos, you can call Candy right now. It's not true. Like, you can call Candy. It's not true. Candy will tell you it's not true. So, in my opinion, once I heard that, I said to myself, Portia and Shamea ain't been friends since all that stuff happened. Like, maybe y'all moved forward, but clearly I don't think their friendship ever really fully recovered. Do I think they still hung out? Yes. Do I think they still party together? Sure. Do I think they still, did all the things that friends do? Yes. But I think from that point forward, there was just an underlining, I don't trust them part in this. I just think that was just there. Between Shamea and Candy, they would honestly just say it was true. Candy has no shame. Yeah. The only reason why I would say Candy might not say it's true is if it's going to put Shamea's marriage in jeopardy. But let's be clear. Portia is not a beacon of truth either. You know what I mean? So then, another thing I thought was interesting was she talked about Lord, I'm losing my train of thought. That's why I had my notes. I left my notes at work. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's something in the air, child. This thing, it ain't been this. Anyway. So okay, so neither here nor there. All right, moving right along. So the other thing I thought was interesting was Shamea then spoke on the situation last year with allegedly her talking trash about Portia. She was like, listen, She said, I did not. She said, when they said that I was talking shit about Portia, I wasn't, you know. She said, I was defending Portia. She said, all of that happened in the same day. The alleged conversation where I was talking shit about Portia was the exact same day that I was defending Portia when we were at the studio. I left my notes at work. I'm gonna get to the K Michelle part in a second. It was something else about what happened during that season that I was trying to remember, but okay. I'm gonna get to the K Michelle part in a second. She said that last season, you know, she said last season she got beat up for being a lapdog for Portia, but then at the same time, people were trying to say, oh, well, you know, you was talking shit about Portia. She was like, make up your mind. Either I was her lapdog or I was talking shit about her. Like, I was doing both. She said that her and Portia had a lot of off-camera conversations, and so when people wanted them to discuss it on camera, she was like, "I didn't owe y'all that because that's my friend." So when she said that, that immediately took me right back to what I know, right, T? That immediately took me right back to what Portia said about her coming on the show. That's the reason why real friends have a hard time when they go on these reality shows, because that is the expectation. The expectation of the fans is just like right now. The reason why production keeps trying to get y'all to talk about it on camera is because y'all are on this show. And that is the expectation, is that y'all are going to give us the mess. Y'all are going to give us the what's going on in y'all relationship. You know what I'm saying? And last season, you and Portia were having these issues. Everybody could see y'all were having these issues. Everybody could feel the tension, yet you wanted to keep having private conversations. And then you say, I didn't owe y'all that. You absolutely owe us that. That's why you're on this show. I'm making sure it wasn't. I felt like something was coming out my nose, y'all. That's why you're on this show. Like, that's the whole purpose of you being on a reality show. If you don't want to share your reality, I put that in air quotes, then yeah, this probably isn't the best platform for you, which is, you know, she said it cost her friendship. It did. It absolutely did. Because I don't think you and Portia can recover from this, because you and Portia had bigger issues than this. The K Michelle conversation. Y'all, this is what I'm going to say about the K Michelle conversation. I honestly think that K Michelle is one of those people whose comprehension skills are not there. The night that K Michelle claims that Shamea mama was at the club at 2 a.m., Shamea has proof that they were not at the club at 2 a.m. She said it was the same day of the Star Spangled Banner situation with Drew. She said what happened was, and this is what Shamea said happened is sort of in line with what I said. It's probably what happened. You know, her and K Michelle left the event together, you know, with the whole, oh, say, can you see situation. She said, I was not planning on leaving with K Michelle. Like, that's not how that was supposed to go. And as we were leaving, she said, I was on my way to meet my mom because I was meeting up with Candy and Mama Joyce because it was Mama Joyce's birthday. And we were going to the Babyface Charlie Wilson concert. And so K Michelle said something about, oh, well, you didn't invite me to go, or I can't go, or something along those lines. And Shamea said that she told her, girl, now you already know. Like, Candy gonna be there. Like, you already know that's not gonna work. And then Shamea said that she talked to Candy about it, and Candy was like, I ain't got no problem with Kay, but you know that's not, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. She says that K Michelle, she said her version of the story is that she never said, oh, my friends don't want me to be friends with you, blah, 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 blah. But then again, see, Shamea, your problem, I think, is that you talk too much. Damn it. Hold on, y'all. When you first said that, Shamea, I would have let that go. I would have let it go with, yeah, I told her, girl, you can't ride with me because I'm gonna be hanging out with Candy. That's not gonna work. But then the flip side, but then you kept talking. And when you kept talking, what you said, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all, this is not a direct quote. What you said was something along the lines of, K. Michelle may have felt like that, but I told her, look, girl, I want to get to know you for myself. Like, I want to get to know you for myself, which would, in my opinion, would insinuate that a conversation was had about your friends not rocking with K. Michelle. Because again, see, y'all know I hear what's not being said. For you to say, I want to get to know you for myself would insinuate that there's other people around you that don't want to get to know her. I.e. Candy and them. And then you said, well, Candy is loyal. Y'all know Candy is loyal. And, she really fucks with Rashida. That's her girl. So, nah, she ain't really going to be fucking with it. Then I don't feel like K. Michelle is crazy. And you're right, Lyric. She did know that. Like, K. Michelle, you already knew that wasn't going to work. But I think that's why Shamea didn't invite K. Michelle. Now, as far as them ended up in the club at 2 a.m, she said we were not in the club at 2 a.m. We were at the club. She said, but we left at like 12. And my mama did not have on no outfit with her bra showing her boobs hanging out. She showed the outfit that her mama had on that night when they went out. She showed the outfit, and it was not. It was so. I mean, was K. Michelle putting 20 on 10? She was, but because of all the other stuff that's been going on with K. Michelle, it kind of makes you say, okay, are you just putting 20 on 10, or are you really just lying? Like, are you just exaggerating and being a good storyteller and adding all of these woo, 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 woo? Or are you just lying? You know what I'm saying? But she said, if my conversation made her cry, like, I can't tell her that that's not her experience. I can only say it wasn't my intent. Like, it was just a conversation, about I'm paraphrasing. It was just a conversation about, you already know these lines ain't gonna cross. But I could understand how K. Michelle will walk away with a thought of, well, damn, her friends don't even want me to be cool with her. Angela Oakley of it all. Now, I'm going to say this. I do agree with her about one thing. Well, I agree with her about a few things. But this thing with Angela Oakley, I did agree with her on. She said that the accusations that Angela Oakley made, she said people made a big deal about me talking about Angela Oakley's foot, talking about I'm body shaming, and I'm talking about her having a big foot or being Sasquatch or whatever with her feet and everything. And she was like, but y'all are totally jumping over the fact that this woman is coming for my marriage and my job. And at first, when she said my job, I was like, how they coming for your job, girl? What you mean? But when she explained it, it makes sense. She works for the Hawks. Like, she works for the organization. And if accusations are out there that she is sleeping with the players, that, forget about her being married or not, that could be a potential breach because she may have a non-fraternization clause in her contract. So whether it's true or not, putting it out there and making it a conversation and making it a thing, number one, that could cause problems in her marriage. Like, let's start there. Number two, it could cause problems. And she said that. She said it is causing problems with my job. Like, I'm having to explain this shit. I'm having to say, no, it's not true. And then even with production, asking Angela, Angela was like, well, I don't have any proof, but I mean, that's what I was told and I believe it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the first time that somebody's job has been like, we're not going to say that. But what I am going to say is I think that's a valid complaint. And to compare her talking about Angela Oakley's feet being big to what Angela Oakley said about her that now has her in a situation where, you know, she got to explain to her husband and explain to her job. I don't think it's a fair comparison. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like the same people that had a problem with her talking about Angela Oakley's feet being big are the same people that probably said something about her butt job or her boob job, or she had all that plastic surgery. It's probably the same people. So I do think it's a double standard, and I do think it's a thing. Like it's okay for Angela to come and say she's sleeping around with half of Atlanta, but don't talk about her feet being big. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's a fair comparison. And then where Cynthia on her podcast gonna say, I mean, I got big feet too. I mean, you know, I felt like I caught a stray. Girl, you didn't catch no stray. How did you catch a stray? That was a very specific comment that Shamea made about a very specific person. You didn't catch no stray. Now I could go with y'all on that the Bigfoot thing was corny. Yeah, I could go on that. But for people to act like, oh my gosh, she's body shaming Angela. Y'all been body shaming Shamea all season with her work. We've all, when I say all, again, I'm not saying every single person, but a lot of people, let me just say that, a lot of the fans have made comments about Shamea getting her work done, whether they thought she did a good job, a bad job, or whatever. A lot of people have made comments on her getting her work done. So we talked about Nene and her nose job. We talked about Phaedra surgery. Like we've all talked about it. And like Carlos said, he said that is a Housewives fixture across all the franchises. Remind me to come back to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I have an update on that too. Hold on. All right. Woo, sorry about that. I started having a sneezing fit again. Like I just sneezed like 5 times in a row. So then I had to blow my nose again. Sorry. When I drop the link, I'm gonna drop the link in a few minutes. I'm gonna get up and go get my my Zyrtec. It's in my Maxine, I said hold on. I said hold on, boo. It's in my work bag. That's in the it's in my kitchen. So okay, so Shamea said that Gerald does not want to be on camera. However, he does support her being on the show. He thinks that she should stay on the show. She said that she doesn't have to have a son for him, that's ludicrous. She wants to have a son for him because he's done so much for her. They agreed to have children and her body just isn't cooperating and she just feels really bad about that. And that they have talked about other options such as adoption or getting eggs, donated eggs or buying eggs. I shouldn't say donated, but buying eggs. It's okay. All right. She said that she came on the show. Part of the reason why she came on the show is because she wants to highlight her life as a parent, as a woman with a special needs child, right? I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all the sincerity in my heart, and I don't mean this with I really don't. I really don't want this to come out mean, and I think y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Shamea, if that's your reason for going on the show, get off the show. They are never They are never going to highlight you being a mother of a special needs child as your storyline. They will give you a clip here and there. They'll show you dealing with something here or there. Like last season when you went to the doctor's visits and stuff like that, they'll do those kinds of things, but they are not going to allow, and when I say they, I'm talking about production. They're not going to allow that to be your main storyline. Now they might make it if you and your husband start arguing over your daughter and like y'all start disagreeing about what's the best way, how we should do this, what are the best doctors, should she have this surgery, should she not have this surgery, they may highlight you and your husband arguing about it, but they're never going to make that your storyline. And I hate to say it, but this ain't the fan base. I'm sorry. And I'm part of this fan base. And I'm not saying that it would not be interesting from a perspective that I'm a teacher, but this just ain't it, baby. You would be better off. And Shamea, I mean this, baby, you can take this for free. You can take this for free, Shamea. If that's what you really want to do, and I'm grateful that you want to bring awareness to children with special needs and all the things that go into it and what actually your daughter has been diagnosed with and all of the things that has to happen, I'm all here for it. And I think we need to see more of it. I really do. But here's my 2 cents, Shamea. And again, you can have this one for free. If that's what you really want to do, then you need to get Candy to help you set up your YouTube channel. And you need to hire your own video crew. And you need to do episodes on your YouTube channel. And you need to do a lifestyle channel where you are doing a day in the life of, and put up a video maybe once a week of what your week looked like. And what types of doctors visits and therapy and the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs and the ugly, because this ain't it, baby. And I hate that, because it makes it sound like we're a shallow bunch, and we're not a shallow bunch, but we tune into this. We tune into Housewives for a certain thing, and we're interested to a certain extent. And again, when I say we, I'm talking about as a fan base as a whole. We're interested to a certain extent, but as a day-to-day, that's your storyline? No, ma'am. But if you create your own space or your own YouTube channel, you have the money, you have the means, you have the time. You could really do a really good job bringing awareness to it in your own way. And if you can maybe pitch it to a TLC. I saw somebody in the chat saying a TLC or something. You might be able to even pitch it to like a TLC channel or something along those lines that do those types of shows that is that audience. But if you came on Real, and that's why I think I'm going to call bullshit a little bit on that. But if you came on the Real Housewives to highlight that, this not the place. It's not the show. Sorry, not sorry. Lifetime, TLC, exactly. But in today's world, do your own thing on your own channel. Candy has done a great, I mean, she's kind of gotten away from the speak on it regularly since she doesn't really do the show, but she still does her speak. She just did the Brat and Judy she did Tisha Campbell. She still does her speak on it, and she has good numbers. I mean, of course, just like anything else, they go up and they go down, but she has a very good, loyal fan base. Shamea, it might be a little slow. You have to get in the right algorithm. You got to get in that algorithm. But there are a lot of mothers out here, parents, families out here looking. Maybe you can get some brand deals. What types of adaptive equipment do you use? Do you have doctors that are willing to come on? Physical therapists, occupational therapists. What types of resources are you getting your child in school? There are a whole lot of parents. I just had a conversation with a parent last week about helping her get some resources for her child. There are a whole lot of parents that know they need help and they just don't know where to start. there's a space for that. It just ain't the Housewives of Atlanta. She said her and Kelly are friends in real life. She said in real life, her and Kelly are friends. She says she's working on an album and she's got some other projects that are coming up. Of course, she can't talk about stuff that hasn't happened yet. So we didn't get into what happened between her and Portia and what happened in Scotland. But she did say that Portia was the first person to bring up what was going on between her, like what happened with their parents, with their moms. She said Portia, she said they agreed that they weren't going to speak on that. And Portia was actually the one that brought it up first. And that is true. Portia did actually bring it up first, if I remember correctly. I'm sure y'all gonna tell me if I'm lying, if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what I remember. Really, B, do you remember, or did she ever say what condition her child has that characterizes her as special needs? I don't remember what she said her daughter has, but her daughter definitely has special needs. Yeah. Special needs are just that. If her daughter needs any type of services that are outside the norm of, I hate to use the word regular care, then that's special needs. She said her daughter goes to occupational therapy. Her daughter has to go to physical therapy. All of those things fall under that category. When her child probably has it's not called an IEP. When you're under a certain age, it's called a FIP. It's like a family intervention plan. It's something along the line where a lot of times they'll bring the services into they'll come into the home and they'll bring before your child starts school, they'll have resources where they'll come into the home and they'll do occupational therapy and speech and all those different based on the needs assessment of your child, and then once a child goes to school, IFSP, thank you, Halfpen. I knew it was something like an individual family plan. So IFSP, thank you. And so they'll do that if a child has been identified prior to going to school. My godson, because he has a shunt in his brain, he had services before he even started school. Right. So that is special needs. That's the category. And then when her daughter goes to school, she'll probably get an IEP or at the very least a 504. But probably if she's in speech therapy and occupational therapy, she'll probably have a IEP. Yeah. It was Portia that brought it up first, I believe. And then it was brought up at the reunion as well. She didn't bring it up on it. Shamea didn't say she brought it up on the show. Shamea said she brought it up first on Instagram. She said it was on Instagram, but the reality is though, Portia was the one that brought it up first, that the parents, that the mothers had an issue. Portia was the one that brought that up first. Yeah, she didn't say Portia brought it up on the show. She said Portia brought it up first. And she did. And she said that her and Portia had agreed that they weren't going to speak on it. So that's pretty much that. Again, I'm sorry I left my notes at work, y'all. I apologize. I think I pretty much hit everything I wanted to hit with that interview. Like I said, Gerald actually makes an appearance and he makes it clear that he supports Shamea being on the show. He just doesn't like being on camera. He just is not comfortable and he does not like being on camera. Oh, she did speak on that. Shamea did speak on what Portia's mom said about her last season, and she said that really hurt her to see, like, oh, that's how they really feel about you, like, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying, that clearly there was already some stuff going on with Portia and Shamea, at least on Portia's end, because if you've known her your whole life, and Portia and Shamea have been able to be friends outside of the fact that their moms fell out, why would you make those comments about Shamea? Because we talked about that last season. I'm gonna be honest, that was for Portia's mom to say that about Shamea was kind of dirty. It was kind of dirty. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, boo. No, well, remember they were at Shamea's house, so Gerald was probably just at home working. They were at Shamea's house. That's the last thing I did want to speak on. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, we were right about why Portia was not invited to the party at Shamea's house. She said, my husband doesn't want her here. It was his birthday party. He doesn't want her here. She said, Carlos, you know good and damn well why Portia invited me to her house. It was an all-cast event. It was the first event of the season, and it was an all-cast event. I had to go. Like, let's break the fourth wall for a second. And I said that. Y'all, when I say y'all, I'm saying the people that are defending Portia, making it seem like, well, Portia invited Shamea to her house. Portia had to invite Shamea because it was an all-cast event. It was Portia's event. It was the first event of the season. She had to invite Shamea, and Shamea had to come. And Shamea said that's why she was hella late. She said, because I didn't know what I was walking into. She said, me and Portia had not spoken. I didn't know what kind of a reception I was going to get. I didn't know if we were good, bad. I didn't know she was going to be nice to me. I didn't know she was going to be rude to me. She was like, so when Portia came up and gave me a hug, I was like, oh. She said, because we had not spoken. So it's not the same. For the people that keep trying to compare it, it's not the same. But y'all BFF, they're not BFFs. They're not. They haven't been BFFs since last season. Portia did not invite Shamea to her house for a second event. Portia has only had one event in her house. And what's the other event that Portia had that she invited Shamea to? What Falcons thing, Italia? What are you talking about, baby? So who's fake? Don't hug me if we're not effing with each other. I'm talking about when Shamea was testing for Bravo. Hold on. Let me go back to your other comment because now I got to read your other comment to know what you're talking about. You said, but why? Oh, but y'all BFFs thought what happened to me, Casa su Casa. Okay, I don't understand what you're saying, baby. They went to a club. What club? What club? Oh, I already spoke on that, Italia. I said that I was already talking about that. I already spoke on that. That Shamea was saying that the comments that Angela made is affecting her job with the Hawks. I'm not saying she's gonna get fired, but she's definitely. The way she said it sounded like she had to have a conversation with somebody down to the Hawks organization. I'm saying the net is quiet about Portia not wanting Shamea to be on the show. Oh, it sounds to me like, I mean, again, that's Shamea's side of it. It sounds to me like Portia didn't really want Shamea to do the show. What audition part? What audition? know what other event did Portia have this season? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember her speaking on that. Did she speak on the interview? She said that she was told she got the job. That's when Carlos started getting real shady towards the end when they were talking about Pinky. I don't know what that was about, but he got real shady when they brought up Pinky. He was like, "So how you like Pinky? How you think Pinky was a good addition?" And Shamea was like, "Yeah, she was like, I like Pinky. She was like, Pinky's had some, she's had some ups and some downs, but she's definitely had a lot of wins, and she's, she had positive things to say about Pinky." And then he was like, he said, "Oh, so have you met the lady in the basement?" And you could tell Shamea, to be fair, Shamea was trying really hard not to be shady, because he made and that's what I was saying. Like, towards the end, Carlos was being so shady. Shamea was like, "Oh, I don't know anything about a lady in the basement." And he was like, "Oh, so you didn't, the lady in the basement won't let you in?" No, she said, "I've never been to their house." He was like, "Oh, the lady in the basement won't let you come over?" And Shamea was like, "I don't know nothing about no lady in the basement." And he was like, "Oh, the lady in the basement. Oh, the lady in the basement won't let you in." And Shamea was like, "I know Pinky wrote a book about it. So, I mean, she took them lemons and made lemonade, And Carlos was like, "Oh, is the book out? I mean, is the book out?" And he was like, "I don't know." Shamea was like, "Oh, I don't know. I know she said it's coming soon." Oh, so Shamea took out her phone and was like, "Well, let me check Amazon. I don't know if it's out or not." He was like, "Is it on Substack?" And Shamea was like, are you being shady right now?" And he was like, "No, I'm just saying, check Substack. Is it on Substack?" And it was like, why? It was like that whole lady in the basement thing. And he was like, so you don't know nothing about no lady in the basement? You don't know anything about a lady in the basement? And Shamea was like, "What are you like? No, I don't know any." She was like, "I know what you know. Like, I heard about it when you heard about it." Oh. So then he was talking about Drew. He talked about Drew too, but then he was talking about oh shit. He talked about Pinky with that lady in the basement bullshit. And then he talked about damn it. I lost it just that bad. That quick. He asked about Jarvis, and he was trying to get information out of about Shamea about Jarvis. "Oh, well, word on the street is that, I mean, Jarvis got some kids." And Shamea was like, "I mean, okay. Well, I mean, the word is that he got a baby mama." And Shamea was like, "Well, I hope you don't have a baby daddy." And Carlos was like, "Oh, hey," and they made a joke about pride or whatever, right? And they're like, "Oh, hey," but Shamea was really not trying to give him nothing. So then he brought up about Drew, and he was like, "Well, Drew's divorce was final." And Shamea was like, "I'm happy for them. Like, if they're happy about it, then I'm happy about it. Like, I'm happy for them." And he was like, "I mean, Drew has to pay $2,000 a month in child support." And Shamea didn't say nothing. I mean, Shamea's face was stone like this. She said, "Carlos, I have learned to just not say nothing. Like, I just don't." She said, "If you're trying to I feel like you're trying to get me to say something shady, and I'm not." She was like, "I'm not going to say nothing." And he was like, "Well, Ralph got to keep the house." And Shamea was like, so to be fair, Shamea was really not trying to give Carlos nothing, but it was like he was trying to get a soundbite or something out of her, and she wouldn't give him nothing. And it was just like, damn, Carlos, like, and it's one thing to say it once, but he just kept going and going and going. Like, that whole thing with Pinky was so weird. It's like, did she serve you a bad burger or something? It was so fucking weird. Like, I don't know. All right, so that's what I have for that. Again, if y'all can think of something that I forgot to mention or whatever, y'all put it in the chat, or I'm gonna be dropping a link in a few minutes, and y'all can come up and y'all can say it yourself. So I'm gonna drop the link in a few minutes. Yeah, it's like, I mean, if you want to drop something once or whatever, but it was like he kept going. It was just weird. Pinky likely won't kiss his ass, maybe. But it seemed like it definitely felt personal against Pinky. It definitely felt personal. Because Shamea was like, "You gonna buy a book?" Yeah, I mean, I support the girls. I mean, I'm gonna buy the book, It just was so shady. So shady. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to give y'all my 2 cents and then I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents on this Jay-Z thing and I'm gonna drop the link. Hold on. Where's Heart and Hustle tonight? It's not tonight, it's tomorrow night. It's on Wednesday night. I think it's tomorrow night. T said tonight. Shit, hold on. Let me see. I thought we were doing it on Wednesdays. Oh shit. Hold on, y'all. I know he set up the live, but I thought he. Oh Lord. Let me see. No, it's scheduled for tomorrow. It's scheduled for tomorrow. Okay. On the reviews, it seems like he's got a personal thing for Pinky. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. No, he's got it scheduled for tomorrow night. All right, so let me get into my 2 cents about the whole Jay-Z situation with Target. Here's where I'm pissed off. And I'm gonna just go on and tell y'all I'm pissed off, right? Because I'm so sick of people conflating situations. And I'm so sick of people justifying bullshit just because you like somebody. Just say you fucking like Jay-Z and you don't really give a damn. You're going to still go to Target because now Jay-Z's in Target. But don't try to conflate issues because you want to justify. And I'm starting in the middle, so let me go back to the beginning. Jay-Z has signed some sort of partnership deal. I don't know all I don't know all the details, but he signed some sort of partnership deal where he is going to be re-releasing his Reasonable Doubt album through Target, through this exclusive partnership with Target, right? It was announced, I think it was announced yesterday. Here's where I'm pissed off. At the end of the day, if you just want to be like, I fucks with Jay-Z, and I'm gonna go to Target and buy this album, then just say that. But I'm gonna just, and I don't want to put any one person on blast, but there's a person in particular, I'm not gonna say their name, so don't ask me to, but I'm not gonna say their name, who I know they fucks with Jay-Z hard. I know they fuck with Jay-Z hard, right? But I also know that I thought that this was one of the people that was out here fighting for the people. She's a Black woman, very much out here fighting for the people, using her platform, fighting a good fight, 92%, whatever, right? All the things. But I also know that this person is a diehard Jay-Z fan. And they've been posting all over their social media today, justifying what Jay-Z is doing. And I'm going to just read, and this is where I got pissed off. And again, I'm not going to say this person. If you know who they are, don't put their name in my chat, please. But if you know who they are, you just know who they are. I'm going to just read you a couple of things that they posted today if they didn't take it down. Let me see. I should have screenshotted it, but I didn't. And again, I know this person is a diehard Jay-Z fan. Diehard. I'm not giving you any hints because I'm not telling you who it is. So this is one of the things they posted. 50 Cent went to Louisiana, shook hands with racist white folk who wanted to destroy the Black community, and mofos was silent. Jay-Z puts an anniversary album in Target. Now folks in the uproar. Don't take folks seriously at all. Jay-Z helped gentrify Brooklyn. It was going to get gentrified with or without him. Hold on. All the gang members and drug dealers that do all the things and making money, why they not buying back neighborhoods and building them up? Fake outrage. No, Chuck, I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. If you still listen to that pedophile R. Kelly but crying about Jay-Z and Target, unfollow me now because we have no need to communicate ever. It amazes me how folks got smoked for Hova, but not these crooked pastors and politicians. Woo, the hypocrisy is loud. Listen. Why can't two things be true at the same time? I find it very interesting. Let me see something. I find it very interesting. People had all this energy for Jamal Bryant when he said the boycott is over. It's okay. It's safe to go back. It's safe to go back to Target. People was calling him all kinds of sellouts. People was accusing him of did you get a payout? Who you got paid off? I'm I'm trying to scroll back on this person's page to see if they had anything to say about if they had anything to say about Jamal Bryant. That's why I'm trying to scroll back now. Because if this person had smoke for Jamal Bryant, but they don't have no smoke for Jay-Z, that's where the hypocrisy is. You talking about there's hypocrisy. And again, this person isn't the only person. There are other people. Because just because y'all love Jay-Z, and when I say y'all, again, if it don't apply, let it fly. But just because y'all love Jay-Z and y'all love Beyonce, y'all act like these people cannot be flawed. Y'all act like these people can't do shit wrong. And at the end of the day, I don't worship none of these motherfuckers. I like them. I like what they do. But at the end of the day, they are human. And as far as I'm concerned, Jay-Z, you could have gone. You are the draw, Jay-Z. You are the draw. You have the power. You don't fucking need the money. You have the power. You could have gone to any of these organizations to re-release Reasonable Doubt. You could have gone to any of these, and I'm not even saying it has to be an anti-MAGA platform. Because it's hard to find people, like it's hard to find these big businesses that aren't somehow, way, shape, or form, somehow connected to MAGA, right? I get that. But we, as a Black community, have an active boycott against Target. Yes, we don't want people shopping at Amazon. Yes, we don't want people shopping at Chick-fil-A. Yes, we don't want people shopping at Home Depot. Yes, there's a whole long list of places we don't want people shopping, but we have an active boycott. And what you just did, Jay-Z, you just said, fuck it. And what you just did was you gave everybody an excuse that already wanted to go to Target, that probably was already shopping at Target anyway, to go back to Target. Same thing he did with the NFL. Sure did. You allowed the NFL to use you as their nigga token. And I said it. I said it. Jay-Z, you could have released the shit yourself. Like, you have the means, you have the money, and you have the opportunity. You could have re-released that shit yourself. First of all, it's not like it's a new album. The album is 30 fucking years old. All of us have some form of Reasonable Doubt. We already have it. So, hello. It just pisses me off that, and that's exactly what it is, T. That's exactly what it is. He's bailing out Target. Now they have the Jay-Z effect. You have just given every person that wanted one the excuse they needed to take their ass back to Target. And what pisses me off is the people that are defending it. Because the same people that are defending this shit with Jay-Z, I bet you, I ain't finished scrolling. I don't remember when that shit happened with Jay-Z. I mean, Lord, I said Jay-Z. When that shit happened with Jamal Bryant. Let me see if I can scroll back on this person's page far enough. Because I definitely want to see. Hold on. This person posted him there. Hold on. It was around March. Hold on. I'm going to keep scrolling because I want to know. I'm about to drop the link, y'all. I just had to get that off my chest because I said a little bit about it on yesterday. I said a little bit about it on yesterday. But I really didn't say much more until I started seeing, because again, that's that person, because I follow them, I just saw a lot of their stuff. But it wasn't just that person. Like, I saw people on TikTok and everything else, and it's just like, y'all are just justifying this shit because y'all like Jay-Z. And a lot of it is connected to Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love Beyonce, so y'all like Jay-Z. Because the same people that's capping for Jay-Z, y'all wasn't capping when she put out Lemonade and let y'all know that man cheated on her. But when she forgave him, it was like, oh, well, if Beyonce can forgive him, we'll forgive him too. But at the end of the day, what Jay-Z has proven to me is Jay-Z really don't give a fuck about none of us. He got his billionaire status. He got his money. He good. His kids are good. He don't give a fuck. And he the same person that thinks that being in white spaces and having proximity to white spaces makes it okay. And again, you did it with the NFL. We was all down to support Colin Kaepernick and all of the things. And then they signed on Jay-Z and they let him do the halftime show with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and we all jumped on board, myself included. I'm pointing the finger at myself included. Hey, Sabria, how you doing, sweetheart?
You gonna let me know if I'm too loud for your audience?
I will. I'll let you know if you're too loud.
Is it okay to speak, or do you want to say something?
Go ahead, babe.
I didn't think I could do it, but I dropped my Amazon like that Missouri ugly ass man was a bad habit. Um, I found several black nail salons in Harlem, and I'm right now filing off the nail polish and doing my fingers. I just need help with my toes because I'm 65. I just turned 65 on this president's birthday. We both have the same birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I stopped watching Power because this guy, he's too. It's like they keep saying, these guys that are in rap keep talking about, oh, there's a door. And I think it's a spiritual door, how far you want to go to be successful. But at the same token, he's 53, 54 years old, JC, at the end. And 50 Cent is in his late 40s, early 50s. At the end of your life, when you finish getting all this money and your kids is fighting over money, and Your life is all messed up. Look at this man, 50 Cent, with his last baby mother. I mean, traumatizing her son. Let's put it that way. Because, I mean, all the stuff that she's doing on camera cannot be helpful for her child. And at the end of the day, when they get older and stuff, and they're going to look back at all the stuff they accomplished, first of all, Jay-Z, as far as I'm concerned, I had a problem with him for a long time, but I had to, like, I liked him. I liked a lot of things. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he did his artist very well. As far as their publishing and them making money, he didn't look out for them. As far as especially Aaliyah, he didn't treat her well at all. There's a lot of little things in vignettes, and I'm finding out as I get older, a lot of these rappers and stuff that people I was happy that they got put on, it's like either they go to an extreme that they become so tone deaf of the culture. I'm like, why'd you get into rap anyway? It was about Black culture. So what is it about now? And then with 50 Cent, all he does is drug movies. I'm like, dude, come on now. They already stereotype us. We're 14% of the population in this country. There are 300 million people in this country. And they put all the crimes and all the welfare and all the negative stuff on us, which is impossible because white folks, not for nothing, make over 60% of the country. And I Googled it because I said, there's no way that 14% of the population is doing everything bad. They trying to erase us, and you gonna go and help out and clear the people that's trying to pay for the administration that's trying to erase our history. And the same goes for 50 Cent. What do you keep on doing drug movies for? I can't watch Power no more. The first few seasons, it was exciting. The clothing, the cars, the ambiance, the wiggers, all that was nice. But then I started thinking about, I'm like, yeah, he's really making us look bad. Anyway. Oh, and Shamea, her and her mama, I don't trust no woman that hang out with their mama like that. They at the club shaking their tail and you drinking with your moms, and your mom's trying to preach while you drinking. That's kind of like it's a little bit backwards as far as I'm 64. I think I'm older than her mother. I don't hang out with my 44-year-old daughter, and we don't get high together. If we're in the house celebrating New Year's or Christmas, I may pour her a little drink and she go in her room, but she don't live with me no how. I have to beg her to come visit me. The last time we went out was for her birthday, but we went to the movies. So I'm not into that. I'm just saying a lot of things. Oh, I wanted to tell you this.
Shamea said that's not what in the interview. She said that's not what happened. She said that they had gone to the concert and they went out that night after the concert. But it wasn't like they just be hanging out at the club, and like they went to a concert, and they also
went with K Michelle to meet that guy that Portia was involved with. What was that about? The mother was with K Michelle and Shamea when they went to meet the guy that K Michelle and Portia both dated. What was the discussion on that?
When did that happen?
You didn't know that? Come on. When they was interviewing in between K Michelle giving all these interviews where she was giving up her own tea, she mentioned that when she went to meet that guy that was on, what was that show? Queens. Yeah. She was there with, yes, the guy from there met up with K Michelle to discuss the Portia thing, and who was with them? Shamea and the mother. What I wanted to tell everybody,
I don't know nothing about that.
I'm telling you, look at any of the K Michelle interviews because she be talking too much. Here's the other thing. The whole thing I heard about Shamea and her moms and Portia and her moms, that Miss Diane and Shamea mother was dating the same guy at one time, or they was having a problem because they both like the same guy. That was one thing. But the thing that I heard that was really bad was both Shamea's mother and Miss Diane both had daycare centers. And for some reason, Miss Diane had a baby in her care that had SIDS. And that back in those days when a child had SIDS, they call it sleep disorder. It's a sleep disorder where babies stop breathing, and I can't remember the exact acronym, so I'm not gonna say it. But the thing was that she almost got locked up for a baby that has a crib. They used to call it crib death. I don't mean no harm, but they saying that's what it was, and that while the Miss Diane was going through legal issues, Shamea's mother swooped in and bought the daycare went into some type of monetary problem, and Shamea's mother took the daycare center from Portia's mother. That's what I heard.
So what you're okay? So let me talk about the first. What you're talking about is the same night. So the night that they met up with that guy is the same night that when they went out after the concert. So that's all the same night. That's the same night.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what the people in the chat are saying, that was the same night.
Yeah, but it's kind of strange though. Was she tried to pray for him too? Anyway, I'm gonna drop it. I just wanted y'all to know what the argument between the mothers was about.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the daycares. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, babe. What's up, Tracy? Hey, boo.
Sure. Oh my goodness. So,
baby, I'm still scrolling on this person's social media. I really want to see if they said something about.
Listen, am I disappointed in Jay-Z? Yes. Am I shocked? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He is definitely not the same person he used to be, and standing on business about black people.
I think he's exactly who he used to be. Hello?
No, because I don't know if in the beginning it was because you were my friends and we were coming up together, so I support your black business and do stuff for you. So maybe that's what it was, yeah. And it wasn't, financial. It was just kind of looking out for each other. So yeah, I could say that once money got involved, the switch up occurred. I could definitely see that. I could definitely understand that, which is frustrating, but at the same time, not surprising. But I definitely would not be going to Target. So
yeah.
I love you. Bye-bye. I can't.
You're so stupid. Shut up,
Tracy. I can't. I just can't. Listen, I don't think much of anything is gonna get me into Target doors. It would take.
Yeah, I mean at this point, it's no longer even in my, I don't even think about going to Target. I don't even think about it. Because I told y'all before, there's nothing in Target that I can't find somewhere else. Now, again, am I still guilty of shopping at Amazon? Yes, I am. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. But my Target boycott is strong. And again, I'm damn sure not gonna break the boycott to go buy an album I had 30 years ago. It's the same fucking album. Definitely. When they be like, oh, it's remastered and it's all of that, it's probably remastered on Spotify too. It's the same
remastered on Tidal
album.
Look, is it remastered on Tidal? Because I'm just trying to understand.
Well, okay.
But ain't that your shit? But okay. That's neither here nor
right.
there.
That's you have Tidal. You couldn't just stream it on Tidal and charge people to stream it. I don't know. It's just you made a decision.
Now
you made a decision.
Yeah.
And again, you're fine with making a decision, but don't make me feel like I'm wrong for not supporting it. Don't make me feel like I'm wrong for having an opinion. Hell, if I could divorce Ice Cube, I don't have no sympathy for nobody else out here moving funny. I divorced Ice Cube. That's been my husband since 1988. We've been married since he had the Jerry curl.
Sister Jerry curl.
Sister Jerry curl.
My sister Jerry. Lord.
I divorced Snoop over this orange man. Shit. But anyway.
Look, I ain't mad at you. I definitely.
I'm gonna drop the link one more time. If anybody want to come up.
So this Portia Shamea thing, I thank you so much for listening to it because Carlos gets on my nerves. So I'll be very in and out when it comes to Carlos King, very in and out because frustrating. But I'm gonna say something that people might not agree with. I honestly understand why Portia didn't want her on the show, and if it was truly my friend, and if I've seen how reality TV has broke up friendships, broke up marriage, broke up people who was happy, seeming to be fine, stuff seeming to be good, but between the level of public scrutiny and everything that's going on and producers and everything else, I could understand why you was like, for our friendship, yeah, I don't think you should be on here.
I mean, listen.
Look, I can completely 100% understand, especially if you don't need the money. Now it's different if you needed the dollars.
We know she didn't.
So if you needed the dollars, that would be one thing, because that'll be, oh girl, let me put you on to what I'm doing so you can get your money too. But if it is like, this is my true friend and I know what this does to friendships and everything else, it's saying like, girl, this might not be the thing if we're going to maintain a friendship. Now, if you don't care about our friendship and you willing to test it, hey, go ahead. It's definitely an honest statement, because I can't be mad at her for that part of the statement. Now, anything else that happened ain't my business, because I can only defend Portia a little bit. Left and I was like,
we just say after a while to make you itch.
listen, she lose me. So I was like, oh, I could see the point right there, and then she just go left, and you be like, what the? I thought we were here, so I just have to give up and wash my hands. So but that's the only part of it where I was like, okay, I could kind of see that, but everything else, I give her no grace in any part or the rest of it after that. But can I see Shamea? But wasn't Shamea doing like radio? And then I feel like
she was doing radio. She was doing radio. She was doing the Big Tigger show.
Yeah, like I feel like Shamea had other things going on, so it wasn't like she wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's why I kind of call bullshit. I mean, again, I kind of call bullshit on her reasoning. Like, she made it seem like because she wanted, I don't know. I think you wanted to be on the show because you wanted to be on the show. And that's okay. It's okay to say I want to be on the show because I fucking want to be on the show. I changed my mind. Like, it's okay to say that. You know what I mean?
I can get behind that. Robin and Giselle seem to navigate it well, but has to be a mutual respect there. But I don't think Portia. Listen,
I don't think so. I think that Giselle and Robin are friends. Giselle and Robin became closer as they were on the show. They knew each other before the show, but they were not best friends before the show. And I don't think they're best friends now. I do think they are legitimate friends. But they do seem to maneuver it really well from where we sit.
Look, they both need a check, and they said, "You got my back, I got yours." See, that's the difference in the friendships, right? If y'all both need to check, y'all will go about reality TV very differently than someone who does not need a check. and you will see stuff get ripped apart. Which is also why I don't know if Shamea and Jerry should really be on the show.
I don't think they should be on the show. And Carlos actually said that without he didn't quite say it. He didn't come right out and say it, but if you read between the lines, he basically said that he was nervous about them staying on the show, like their marriage, staying on the show. And I'm gonna say I'm kind of with you on that one, Carlos. Like I could definitely see where this could cause problems.
You know what? She would be much better suited for like a Bell Collective Atlanta.
Girl,
I feel like that level of show is
Go
probably where they need
Go
to
to
be.
the corner.
Where the husbands are there, but not really there, but not really. That's where they need to be. Cause what? What you mean? You don't think so?
Go sit down.
Wow.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see. I found it, y'all. I got to it. It took me forever. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what she said because she did a video. Hold on. So basically, what she said about Jamal Bryant talking about the boycott is over. I'm not because I'm not gonna because I don't want nobody to. I don't want no smoke with nobody. It ain't that deep. You can feel how you feel. It disappointed me as somebody who I supported you and I thought we were kind of on the same page. But anyway, but basically, you when Jamal Bryant said that the boycott was over, you posted on your page that black women we still ain't fucking with Target. Like you don't get to tell us that the boycott is over. Yet you on here defending Jay-Z. Like I don't, and not only defending Jay-Z, but again, you're going to conflate issues. Oh, the same people that out here defending this and that and the other, they mad at Jay-Z. Get out of here with that shit. Well, two things can be true at the same time.
But isn't that normal for our people?
I'm just
being honest, because they could definitely find a reason to make something okay when it's something they like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People do that. And that's what I'm saying. Just be honest and say, look, I fuck with Jay-Z. Like, I love Jay-Z. I fuck with Jay-Z. And I'm not going to throw Jay-Z away for this. But don't make it out that we as black people are so fucking wrong for not jumping on the bandwagon and not going. Like, don't make it a us issue. It's okay for you to say, look, if I had said, look, y'all, I know Ice Cube moving funny, but baby, that's my dog. I ain't gonna let it go. I'm gonna. That's one thing, but don't make me like y'all gonna be mad at Ice Cube, but y'all not mad at John F. Kennedy. I don't know why that was the name that came in my head. I didn't mean to say John F. Kennedy. I meant to say R. Kelly. I don't know why John F. Kennedy came up. I don't know what that. Y'all go ahead and talk. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Hello, baby.
Hey, Tracy. Hey, chat. I'm driving, as you guys can hear. But I want to know one thing. Did Shamea ever say anything in regards to Charles staying out late or anything in regards to Charles being with other women? Am I breaking up?
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember.
I'm just wanting clarification. Because I know Kelly and Britt, I know they were ones who were good for it. Even to the point they were even talking about an outside baby.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Okay.
Why? What you know?
I just wanted to be sure because I know that was a running thing amongst the women. I didn't know if Shamea had jumped in. I want to say she did, and that's the reason why Angela even mention anything about Shamea being in the club, being a little bit too friendly with the players.
Well, what Shamea, now Shamea did talk about this on the interview. What Shamea said was that when Angela said something about you being outside, Charles said he sees you when he outside. I think Shamea might have said something about Charles being outside. Let me be fair. I don't remember who said it first. But then Angela was like, well, Charles said he see when he outside, he see you outside. So that I do know that she did talk about that part, that she said, well, if I'm outside, if Charles see me outside, that means he outside. So hold on, I'm gonna bring you up.
So they see each other.
Yeah. Lovely lady. Hold on, let me make sure I add it to the stage. Lovely lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to look before I just wanted to make sure you was who you was. What's up? Hey.
What's going on, girls? What's going on?
Oh no, the chat is saying that Shamia said it, and
Hey, how are
then
you?
Charles here.
I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good. I'm good, everybody. Tracy scared me off the. Tracy scared me away for a couple of days.
What do you know
Yeah.
Tracy, why Tracy scared you away?
Girl, Tracy came on there and went off. I'm like, ooh,
Oh
I
well,
don't never
well.
get
Listen,
on her bad side. But I
everybody
had
be
to say
trying to slide
something.
behind my back. I think y'all all drunk.
Girl, you crazy. Your face expression really be, and the way that you look, I'm like, these people, this child had broke your heart because you looked so hurt that day. Not from Tracy, but you know what I'm talking about. You just looked so hurt that day. You like you was defeated. Like, I can't believe I allowed this to happen. I mean, you kept your mouth quiet. That's one thing I can say. You kept your mouth quiet until somebody brought it to your doorstep. And then you unleashed. And I don't blame you. But the thing with Shamia, God would never trust you. First of all, you tried to call out Eva on national TV, messing around with Missy. And then the thing of it with you, I would never trust you. Okay, you saying you and Portia
That was
wasn't getting
Eva. I mean,
along.
that was Shamia. I thought that was Nene. That was Shamia that did that.
That
Oh
was
wow.
Shamia. Remember, they was in Barcelona. And Shamia
Yeah.
asked Eva when Eva was sitting on that sub, when all of them was sitting around, it was when Cynthia told Portia, I don't know you that well. You said so and so about Candy. They kept bringing up the situation with Candy. And then Shamia, you knew why Portia didn't come to your wedding. You knew when they went to that, whatever that bridesmaid, whatever y'all had going on, and Candy and what's that girl named? Carmen, and all of them was talking about Portia right then in Portia's face. Why would I want to be around that? Yeah, you supposed to be my friend, but then again, you friends with this other person that's coming after me. So why would I still be your ride or die? And then remember, when Portia left, because everybody was mad with Portia on that situation with the candy and the card in the dungeon when because they was coming after Portia when she was in Barcelona. So when Portia left, she sent the message to Shamia and told Shamia, don't trust none of them, not even Sheree. Now, my thing is, if I'm sending you this and me and you supposed to be close, why are you showing this to somebody that I'm talking about and me and you supposed to be friends? Why are you sharing a text that I sent to you? Shamia's always been a snake. And like I said, people keep saying that Portia is jealous of Shamia. Child, Portia don't want to be married. Portia just want the lifestyle. And I don't understand why nobody can't see that. Portia don't want no more children. Portia don't want to mess up that body. Portia
But
do
that's
not
the
want
but
to be
that's the
married.
lifestyle. But that's the
Then
lifestyle that
listen,
everybody says she wants. She wants her lifestyle.
no, Portia do not want. She want the lifestyle, but she don't want to be married. And
No, I
Shamia, you better
understand,
be
but that's what
careful
I'm saying. That's the
because
lifestyle that
yeah,
people
but
say.
I'm just saying. But she getting it without being married. But what I'm saying is with Shamia, girl, you better be careful. This man do not like being on no that TV. Every time he come, like if you didn't have that surprise party and he probably knew it was gonna be fit, that man probably wouldn't even showed up. My thing is, this man keep telling you this. He keep telling you this, but you trying to chase fame and trying to do the things that Portia has already done. You gonna end up losing your marriage. And I believe if you don't get that man no son, he out of there. They marriage might be a contract because you pushing so hard to get your own money, and I don't blame you for that. But what I'm saying is that marriage might be a contract. If you don't deliver that son, I think that man out of there. But that's all I got.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your piece.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Floyd, if you want to sell some of them bags for 99% off, I'll buy one from
Okay,
you.
listen.
Because you
I'll buy some of
clearly,
that stuff up off of you, Floyd.
I'll buy it up off you because you clearly need the coins. I'm just
Okay. And like you said, for 99% off, I got you. I'll get
saying.
some of them Hermes bags up off of you, bruh.
I'm just saying, like, we can go ahead and make this happen. Cut a nice
I'm
little
with you.
deal.
And that's the thing. You know you can't read. And instead of you hiring a tutor or somebody to try to teach you how to read so you know how to write a check or you can look at your bank balance or
Oh,
go to the bank, yet still you out here buying Versace gold chains that ain't gonna matter to nothing. These Rolls Royce and these cars that you got to take care of because these cars takes a lot of maintenance. So you got to have the money to go along with that lifestyle. Plus, when people get big houses, you got to pay. Even though if you bought this house, you still got to pay the state tax on it. So you still got to maintain it. And if you in an HOA, they gonna if you do anything wrong, they can take your house. So instead of him going out there buying all this stuff, you should have been getting a tutor so you can learn how to read.
you know what? I
Oh my.
cannot. Not. You can't read, so how you sign the check?
Oh. Now
You know
get
what?
you a tutor.
That is a very valid question.
Listen, he can write an X. That's his signature.
Oh,
You know, a lot. Remember the old days when people
yeah,
went to the Social Security office, they had to write an X, and somebody had to stand there and sign the thing with them. But they can make an X to get their money. The same way R. Kelly, he went to the bank and didn't know how to fill out a bank form.
You know what? See, I'm gonna say this. Floyd got the kind of rich people problems that I would like to have. Cause he just stupid with money, but he got the funds. He just, can't maneuver them right now that he not making 100 million a fight. So, like he got rich people problems. So that's why nobody feel bad for Floyd, especially since it's like you did it to yourself. But I still want to look at that lawsuit that he's suing his little manager for saying that they stole like 192 million or something like that off of him. I was like, interesting. But I also
They're
have a
gonna
question.
say, take us to court and prove it.
I have a question. Do you think Gerald wants to stay off TV because he might end up like Jen Shaw?
There's no evidence to support it, but I don't know.
Listen, because I'll say one thing. I never understood how, you get on TV and then you go to prison, Teresa. Saying
Only
Gerald,
because
like, let me stay up out of this.
My thing is with Gerald, and not that you know the basher or whatsoever, but you own HVACs, but you don't know how to set your own temperature at your house when your daughter is freezing. That don't click or anything. Come on, you don't know how to set the temperature at your own house when Shamea is out in the country wherever she wants to be, and she's always gone. So you don't know how to set the HVAC to get your house in order. Come ain't right.
I don't know, y'all. Oh, let me give y'all this. I did have an update on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So allegedly, Melania, allegedly, Teresa and Louis were arguing, and Melania stepped in, and the person that allegedly called the police on her was Louis. Allegedly.
Not surprised.
And Melania posted this on her social media. Hold on. I took a screenshot. Melania posted this on her social media. Let me see if I can find it. She posted this on her social media. It says, I hope my mom never carries the weight of thinking she wasn't enough. I could feel Pages and the quiet, beautiful ways she shaped my life. And this allegedly was posted post arrest.
Oh, oh, damn.
So there's the update with that. I had that update, but I meant to say that before. That's the update on that.
Really,
Well,
did you see the thing where they said that Diddy release date was up? I mean, they upped up his date, so he might be getting out as soon as we think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens. Like, I know a lot of people don't follow stuff like that because they may or may not have family or friends that are in the criminal justice system. But if you go to jail and you do what you're supposed to do and you follow the rules, a lot of times people's release date gets moved up. Like, it's not a unreasonable thing that his release date gets moved up. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Diddy gonna be out making an album in about, he'll be out in a few months and he'll be in the studio, child. And then the people gonna buy it. I'm just saying. Anyway, what happened? Everybody got quiet.
Oh,
Now I'm just thinking like who he gonna make a song with, because Diddy singing by himself ain't gonna get it.
Diddy gonna make a song. He gonna DJ Khaled, all these people that been out here supporting him. All of them they're gonna all make records with him. All of them.
I don't know. I doubt that. Because that last album, with that Love album, I don't think that did what it needed to do. And then by the time he gets out, so much time would have passed. Maybe somebody will, but
He don't pay anybody, so they go. Let me stop.
I would say I don't think people want to identify with him like that.
I think
now that he has this, now that everything is out there.
I think the same people that been saying nice stuff or been walking on eggshells not to say nothing bad about him will be the same people that when he get out of jail, he want to make a comeback album. They'll be the same people that are going to the studio and work with him. It's still people out here that want us to give Diddy grace and, well, he made a mistake and he's not that all he gotta do is come out and say, I'm not that person anymore. I learned, I'm sober now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a donate part of this to a battered woman's cause, and he gonna do some community service with some battered woman. Like, come on. I could Olivia Pope the shit out of this. Now that doesn't mean that it's gonna be a triple platinum selling album, but I could see Diddy putting the album out, and I could see people buying it. If R. Kelly get out of jail tomorrow and put an album out, motherfuckers gonna go buy it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm not saying us, the people sitting here with us, right? I'm not saying y'all would. I'm just saying y'all know that there's gonna be an audience for it.
Not Carisha. You know what? She will be on the album.
Carisha might not need to be on that album, baby. Carisha she gonna eat for a couple of years off of this shit. Spend them checks. Yeah, I'm not saying he gonna make money. I ain't saying that. I mean, I ain't saying he gonna call out here and go triple platinum. But do I think that Diddy gonna put out music when he get out of jail? Absolutely. And you might be surprised at some of the people that might collaborate with him. Might be some of the same people that's been out here talking shit about him. I'm just saying.
Well, Puff, Stevie J is waiting on that call. And he need the money.
I'm about to say, Stevie J will be right there waiting. He was out here the other day talking about his man Diddy. Child. RJ will do an album with him. DJ Khaled will do an album with him. DJ Khaled is Palestinian and it didn't even speak up. For the Palestinians, and his ass is from fucking Palestine. We know he don't stand for shit.
Well, when you say it like that,
I'm just saying
there's a lot of options. So,
all right, y'all. But we've been here for almost 2.5 hours. I'm going to get ready to get off of here and take me a Zyrtec and go. I guess I'm about to go lay down because, baby, these allergies are killing me right now.
So to
Yeah,
the
I should have
people,
been in the
Did you
bed.
address the issue with that man calling Michelle a man?
I'm not addressing that. Ain't nothing to address.
okay. To the people, I got really be on Discord, and we had a nice watch party, and it was great, and all that good stuff. So join the Discord. We put all the details for all the events, so it's easy for all of y'all to find, which is nice. And really be set over the summer. We gonna do some reviews of so she could pull people black cards because there's some things that we done missed watching. So no everyday stuff can really be on Discord. It's really just gonna be for us, but she'll pop in every once in a while and do something. So all your stuff is in there. Mm. That's all.
Well, thank you, Tracy. With that being said, you guys, we about to get out of here. All of the things, subscribe, all of the things. Tracy gonna put the link in the chat. We officially have 32 people on the Tribal 2.0. We had somebody book Alaska today, so I think we're up to 12 rooms for Alaska. I think we're up to 12 rooms for Alaska, maybe 13. Technically 13, because somebody booked. They just didn't book under our group, but one of Cruz's friends booked. So I mean, I shouldn't say technically 13 because it ain't with our group, but they're one of Cruz's friends. It's her birthday.
Really, did you read Sabra Hardy a comment?
About what?
Just go read it.
Which one? The last one I see, she was asking for the Discord link. Hold on, let me scroll up. No, you just need the link for Discord.
You just need the link. I just dropped it.
Yeah. I don't see anything other than her asking for the link. What?
She said that she feels sorry for him because he has the penis the size of a grape.
Oh, child. Well, we had to know he had some deficiencies for him to be so
Nix declined the
hyper.
White House.
I don't know if that's true, y'all. I need to see that from like an official, because the reason why, because I saw that earlier, but the reason why I don't know that, because they say that all the time, and then you find out later on that, like they said that about the Eagles, but the Eagles didn't decline it. Just certain players declined going. So I don't know if the Knicks as an organization declined the White House visit, unless I need to see that on like an official like ESPN website or Knicks website or something like that. I did see that, but every time somebody wins something, they say they declined the White House, and then you find out later they didn't decline the White House.
No, I don't see that either. What is this? And I agree, it probably is just the one.
Yeah, now do I think that the whole team is going to go? No. I mean, there'll probably be players that don't go. But can I say something that y'all probably not going to like? Y'all Knicks fans probably ain't going to like what I'm about to say. Don't be surprised if Brunson ain't one of them. Don't be surprised if Brunson show his ass up to that White House. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm not saying he's going, y'all. I'm saying don't be surprised if he's there. Because if you close your eyes and you listen to Brunson talk, I'm just saying.
Is Patrick Ewing dead or is he still living?
He's alive. He was at the game. He works for the Knicks.
Oh, I ain't seen that man in so long.
He works for the Knicks. Yeah. That's what he was saying, that he's eligible to get a ring because he works for the organization. So he's eligible to get, him and John Stark, because they work for the Knicks, they're eligible to get rings. Now, it's not automatic that they get a ring, but they are eligible to get a ring. And I think they will. I think the Knicks organization will get Patrick Ewing and John Starks a ring.
So I ain't been a fanatic like that for basketball since the Bulls stopped. When the Bulls were playing real good with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman,
Oh, that's
DJ
been about 2
Armstrong,
years, honey.
Steve Kerr. Girl, that was the game. And I used to always wait till the fourth quarter because I knew right then that when Michael finna show out. But yeah, he's very arrogant and he's not a likable person off the court because he just
Who? Michael Jordan?
yes.
Oh yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, he's an asshole. I want to see. You mean Charles Oakley? You don't mean Charles Barkley. You mean if they'll let Charles Oakley in the Garden? No, they told him he can't come back. He's actually we talked about that the other day, Sabrina. You probably missed that. He's actually in the process of suing the Knicks ownership in Madison Square Garden. So no, he can't come back. That's why he had to go to San Antonio to see the games. Even though that ended up working out in his favor because he got to be there when they won because it was the game was in San Antonio, so he was there when they won.
Yeah, he'll never be back. Not listen, unless some court tell him he can come back. But other than that, they not letting his
See, I'm sorry, Michael Jordan is an asshole. Listen, two things can be true at the same time. He could be a great player and an asshole. He's both. He's both.
True. That is true. All right, people. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, I'm about to go, y'all.
Come on a cruise. Come to an event. There's one in July. There's one in August.
Yes, if you were in the DC
November,
area, come
tons of
to
stuff.
the event. Yes, in July. If you're in the DC area, my mama gonna be there. Y'all gonna get to meet my mama.
Girl, I hate that because I used to be I was stationed at Joint Andrews. I hate that I'm not up there anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right down the road. Right down the road.
See, everybody come on to an event and have a good time.
All right, let me get out of here, child. Let me go take a pill because my allergies are killing me. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I will talk to y'all later.
Good night, y'all.
Night, night. Where all my scamming ass niggas.